Good morning, everyone. My name is Shatar Safira Collier. Welcome to Super Live Producers Training and Certification Program. This particular cohort has an emphasis on live streaming and web video. And today we are going to give you the secrets of making full HD color web video that can be incorporated for your sites and for your clients' sites. So I want to bring up Maxi Collier, the founder of Super Live Producers, to introduce the topic, and then we're going to get right into it. Welcome, Maxi.
Good morning, dear. I love just how professional you are. When we first started this training series and we first started streaming live 8 weeks ago, we would be down here at our respective studios an hour before, have everything ready on our presentation. But yes, admittedly, we've been getting a little more comfortable over these weeks. And so, yes, we looked up just a few minutes ago working through our presentation. They're like, oh my God, it's time to go live in just a few minutes. Yes, that happened. But my wifey, being the professional that she is, she played cool and kept it calm and did a great introduction for us. So yes, here we are. I said it's week 8, but officially it's week 7. And this is our second session of week 7 for the Super Live Producers Training Program. So what we've been doing these past 7 weeks and our mission as we move forward for another 5 weeks is we've been hosting a series twice a week of live streams, followed up by private live streams with the members of our producers training cohort. And what we do in the private session is we expand upon the ideas that we do in these live sessions, where we give folks an opportunity to ask questions. We do work projects and workshops and everything. So what we're going to do this morning now is we're going to focus on giving you an example of one of these activities and one of these live workshops. And so Shatar, who is the Chief Media Officer of New Vista Studios and Super Live Streams, she has been responsible for some of these amazing video promos. She has led the executive producing on our Halloween special. She's been the executive producer on the Poultry Princess project. So this morning, Shatar is going to walk us through her process as we actually make a video. This is an active course. So we want you right now to go ahead and open another tab in your browser, open up your Gmail. Go ahead and click the little dots up at the top so you can get over here to Google Docs for us. And we're going to want you following along, typing some notes, and you're going to be opening up some other web browsers along the way. And by the end of this session, our goal is to help you have a promo video. Now, what type of promo video is this going to be? Okay, so dear, can you go ahead and just read this introduction for us?
I absolutely can. So today we're going to be talking about a web video, and we're going to show you the web video. And not only are we going to show you the web video, we're actually going to go step by step in how to make it. Now, these are some videos that have been incorporated into publicity campaigns for businesses, for actual educational programs for universities and colleges. So these are real videos that have worked with real clients, and they've served a very great purpose. And we want to show you how to make these step by step. So going to this document from the very beginning, I'm glad that you guys have your notes out. I always say take out your notebook and your pen and to take notes so that you can follow along, because we're going to be giving a very information-packed session. And I want you guys to get all of these goodies for yourself so you can make these videos for your company and for your clients too. So in this session, you will learn a step-by-step process to plan, write, narrate, record, and edit a 30 to 90 second promotional video featuring your logo, your brand colors, your messaging, your animated text, your images, and or your video content. And you'll learn to use a variety of tools, and you'll learn how to use a variety of tools, software, and web applications. Now, these are the things that you're going to need for this. Your minimum requirements are a microphone or a mobile phone. So please have that handy and nearby. Google Slides. If you do not yet have access to your Google Slides and you do have a Gmail account, I want you to look at the menu at the top right of your Gmail email account and click the dots Once you click those dots, it looks like an old school phone dial. Once you click those dots, it will open a full menu of things that are there available for you in the Google Suite or the G Suite. One of them is Google Slides, okay? And you can open your Google Slides because in these Google Slides, like what we're working with right here on the screen, you will be able to build the script for your web video. You will also need a plugin called Loom. So you can search and add this to your toolbar. It's a Google add-on called Loom, Loom, and that allows you to do screen capture, to actually record the video on your screen.
And there's an
Another one.
alternative that we use here called Awesome
Mm-hmm.
Screenshot. And
Yes.
Awesome Screenshot, again, these are plugins that work with your Google Chrome. And we go over here to extensions. We come down here to more tools. We come to extensions. And then we're able to search for the plugins that we want to find. Awesome Screenshot, we're able to add it to our Google Chrome. So then at that point in time, when the Awesome Screenshot is added, anytime that we need to capture a video or a photo, we just come here and we're able to click, set some parameters, and immediately start recording. So we can record the desktop at large. We could record this tab only. We can record the webcam. We can choose whether to add the microphone. Now we pay for the pro edition of this, so we're able to select and get a higher frequency, get a higher resolution. But this is the Awesome Screenshot. Loom is an alternative as well. And then there's also some commercial equivalents. You can get Camtasia, is one of the classic original screenshot and screen share program. But the idea is you want a program that's going to allow you to capture your screen, because then when you combine that, even with something as simple as Google Slides, the Google Slides here, we can click presentation mode or present mode and combine it with our screen capture. And now we have the mechanism for recording a commercial. All right, dear, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
That was no interruption. That was such valuable information. So you see that tip. You have your slides, Google Slides right here. You click the present mode, and then you can click play, and your presentation will begin to play these slides one at a time. Your screen records those, and then from that, you can produce an actual web video. So that's just one part. Those are the visuals that can be applied to your web video. Today, we'll also talk about the audio that are key pieces to any web video, and that includes your voiceover and the voiceover script, as well as your music, the soundtrack for your commercial. But before we get to those, I'm going to continue to read these slides here so that we can follow along and make sure that you have all of the tools that you need to make this happen for you. So the next thing is we talked about Awesome Screenshot, and then you also have OpenShot as an option.
Yes.
The commercial equivalents that you want your Pro Mic camera. You can use PowerPoint, Camtasia, or Adobe Premiere. Now you can use Adobe Premiere. That is a professional editing tool, and we're going to show you what it looks like inside of an Adobe Premiere timeline today. So if you have not edited before in Adobe Premiere, today you will have a chance to look and see what it looks like inside the timeline and how to incorporate all of these tools to make your web video.
And every tool listed up here is free, including OpenShot, which is an editing program, which we'll expand upon later. So basically the idea is we use a variety of tools in order to create our assets. And let me go ahead over to this screen here and we'll just walk through the process. An asset may be a photo, it may be a video, it may be moving text, it may be an animation, so we use a variety of the tools to create our assets. But dear, you want to walk through this process list here?
Yes. Okay. So the first thing you want to do, and we've had you do this for the beginning from your brands, is to determine your goals, your keywords, and your messaging. So right there on your notebook, if you can go ahead and write 3 of the keywords that apply to your brand. So for this specific training program, we are the Super Live Producers 12-week training program for live streaming and web video. So live streams or live streaming would be a keyword. web video would be a keyword, and producers or production would also apply as keywords. Okay, exactly. So it's an e-learning platform. Exactly, and training program. So all of these words are ones that can apply. So think about three that apply for your business right away.
So, dear,
Now the
of the
second,
promos that you're about to show, what is
mhm.
some of the messaging that you want to convey, and maybe while people are working on their messaging, and then even as we talk about the goals, we're going to look at some of the different formats and the different types of promos, videos. In fact, maybe while people are working on their goals, we could just jump forward right here
Yes,
to this.
exactly.
Okay.
And I'll literally
Mhm.
pull some videos so that you can see, so you can have an idea of what is possible as you're thinking about your brands. Do you
So,
think it would
what
be?
types of videos?
Mm-hmm.
What types of videos do you want to produce? You want to produce a video bumper? A video bumper is a moving graphic like we see, TV Channel 9 or USA Today or Black Reflections TV. It may be an
Yes.
identifier for a brand. It's going to be a short identifier that may be at the end of a segment or the end of a program or between different segments. Dear, you want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about intro and outro since you've done so many wonderful ones for us recently?
Yes, intros and outros are key. Those are things that can distinguish your video from the video of an amateur, someone who does not know about how to produce web video. Now, people are doing some amazing things with amateur videos. They are wonderful to watch sometimes, especially when they incorporate engaging content. So, in order to incorporate the professional aspects, you can open your video with a video bumper or an intro, and then you can close your video with a video bumper or an outro. And in fact, I have some here, some video bumpers I can show. Do you think now would be a good time, or do
Yeah,
you think it
well,
would be?
yes, let's go and show a
Okay,
couple while folks are working on their own goals. So this is an example of video bumpers and outros, intro and outros.
video bumpers. So I'm going to play first one for Black Reflections TV. That's one of our television channels that you can see on Roku and in the App Store for Amazon and Google. So let's take a look.
You're watching Black Reflections Soul Cinema Classics. Black Reflections TV. Free movies. Add us on Roku. That's Black Reflections TV.
Now that is one version. I'm going to show you another version for the same brand, also for Black Reflections TV.
So that is an animated bumper. So that's an animated bumper where we basically just take our logo and we run it through a process and generate an animation. Then later on, we may add a sound effect to it, or we may add, some other elements to it, a voiceover as well to help identify. So that's an example of a bumper. What about for an intro and outro? Now, what's the difference between a bumper and an intro and outro? Typically, a bumper is going to be focused on identification. An intro and outro may be used over and over. Yes. Hey, April, we see your message there. The chat is open for questions. Definitely hit us up if you'd like. We can see your LinkedIn comment there. So an intro is going to be something that you use at the opening of your program recurring. So if you have a video podcast or you have a show, you may use that intro and outro over and over again in the program. Whereas a bumper may be used between segments, like with Shatar's Poultry Princess program, she had to make all sorts of bumpers that were used to cohesively tie the segments together. You want to show any of those there?
Yes, and one we had recently for the holiday special, we used the opening with a countdown timer, and then a segment that we use for a bumper is also incorporated into the open. So go ahead and let's take a look. Now, if you notice, there were many elements combined into that one video piece. You saw the part where they were typing into the browser. It looked like a Google browser and typing words. That asset was made in one of the programs that we'll show you today. It was also combined with a floating postcard. That floating postcard can be used for a video intro, but also towards the outro, as well as a bumper between segments. And in addition, our assistant editor, Caitlin, made the great bumper that shows the Poultry Princess logo over the plate of food. And you saw it was not a static graphic, it was a video with the moving elements, including the logo. So those are things you can incorporate into your open as well as use as bumpers.
So
And
now,
then, mhm.
go ahead, dear.
Yes, please, after you.
So a social media video post, dear. What's the difference between an intro and outro and a social media video post? What are some of the
An
assets that you've created?
Yes, an intro, again, will go in front of a piece of media that is about to play. An outro goes at the end of that media. But then a social media post includes a call to action. So it may say, watch our program at this time. It has the date of that program, the time of that program, and then where and when they can watch it. So what the specific URL is, or what the channel is if you're promoting something that can air on a channel. So here's a promo where we invite people to participate in the Super Live producers. This asset was able to be run as commercials on the channel, but also as a web video. So let's take a look, and I want you to pay attention to the elements of this, as well as the call to action, the visuals, and the audio, including music and voiceover. Let's take a look.
Get tips right now on how to live stream your Zen. Go to superliveproducers.com. On sale now for Cyber Monday. Use code SAVE75 to save 75% off. Visit superliveproducers.com. That's superliveproducers.com.
Great job, dear. And again, keep in mind, you all will have an opportunity to ask Shatar and I questions on how any of the videos that you see are done. So just, make notes of it. And when we get to the Q&A, you can ask about the process. But even more importantly, this session is a building session. So we're hoping that you'll follow along. We're hoping that right now you have your Google Docs open and that you're making some notes about the bumper or the promo or the intro video that you want to do. And another thing about a social media video post is these may be delivered in different formats. So for example, when we do video bumpers and intro and outro videos, we're usually going to do these 16:9 HD, so they're ready for television. However, by the time that we get ready to deliver something for social media, it can be a 9:16 vertical video, or it can be a square video, or it can be a landscape horizontal video. So that is a key thing to keep in mind as you're creating. Now, certain tools, some of the more progressive editing tools, they make it easy for you to edit in one program and then output your video in a variety of formats.
Yes, and so previously you had to film everything, full HD, 16:9, and then try to chop it down or adjust the orientation in your timeline. Yeah. Now there are services in which you can, with one click, adjust the size from HD, which is 16:9, so that is a full 1920 by 1080, or the Instagram posts, which are generally 1080 by 1080, or the 9:16, the vertical posts, which are very popular. You can use them on Facebook and TikTok and other things that require the vertical format. And I'd like to take it. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, what were you about to say?
While you are thinking of this, and this is particularly important for someone like Mia, welcome Mia, who is building an app that assists people with education and advising. This particular video we're showing next is one that was used with a college and university to educate some of their folks on the English language and grammar and parts of speech. So pay attention to the different elements of this video, and we'll explain how it's made later on and actually show you the service in which it was made during the lab. So let's take a look. Parts of speech.
Introducing the parts of speech.
Once upon a time, there was a subject. She searched and searched for the parts of speech, but yet she found herself alone. A subject. The eye, but it was always just I and nothing else. She took a selfie, but there was no one to send it to. There must be more to the parts of speech. One day, she met a verb. He was all action. Whoopee! It was love at first sight. A subject and a verb, they could complete a sentence. I do. I can. I live. They had a wonderful time, the subject and the verb.
That's me.
But eventually they realized they wanted something more, so they invited an object to join them. Subject, verb, object. I do things. I sing songs. I eat cake. We ride bikes. They were a powerful trio. Every time they made a sentence, subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. The good sentence traveled the world far and wide and became popular in books, on TV, and in movies. There was someone who was always gossiping. She had descriptions for everything and everyone. Her name was Adjective. I sing songs. I sing beautiful songs.
That girl, you got something to say?
Subject, verb, object, adjective. They worked as a brilliant team, but then they realized they needed something more, an adverb to complete the sentence.
Yeah, boy.
The adverb describes how things get done, like quickly, smartly. We do good things efficiently. Subject, verb, adjective, object, and adverb. One day, a shady manager offered them a bogus contract. He really just wanted to steal the parts of speech.
I'm about to go up in here, break up this team, see? I'm on this mission right here. Yeah, they think they're gonna laser beam me, stop me. I got the moves, cause I move quickly and swiftly and fast.
He figured he would leave town with the parts of speech, and then chaos ensued. They couldn't get along, everyone was fighting.
You get on my nerves.
They couldn't complete a sentence.
Spend my money.
Everything they worked on had gone down the drain, and now the subject was alone. But then she had a brilliant idea. She brought the whole team together, but they couldn't reach a resolution. Good grief, not again! They even invited other parts of sentence, conjunction, preposition. But instead, they met with a mediator who had a planning meeting, who planned the reunion. And instead of making off with their money, that shady manager was run out of town.
Hit the road, Jack.
Now, they combined successfully to make the parts of speech.
Yeah. Parts of speech, some within reach, verbs and nouns and adjectives too. What you want to do is be in my group. Parts of speech.
Click on the word that is the subject in this sentence. Then click Next.
I like cake. Click on the word that is a verb.
Shoe, dance, hour. Click on the word that is the object in this sentence.
We ride bikes.
Click on the adjective.
Beautiful, quickly, magazine, shines. Great job. Proceed to the next level.
Congratulations, take your bows.
So Shatar wrote and produced and voiced over that amazing program there, which has been viewed thousands of times. And April, it is available on YouTube. We'll look for the link and put it in the chat room, but you can also search for Let's Make TV. Now, as you can see at the end of it, we had created some sections of it where it originally was designed to be an interactive video. because now we have tools and capabilities where we can create a linear video, but then we can put it into a special interactive video player and people can jump around in that video. And that is some amazing technology that and it's free technology that the Super Live producers are learning how to use in our training program here. So dear, now clearly that was a full training video segment. That will fall in our how-to tutorial video category. Let's talk about some of the other videos here, because by the time we wrap up here, again, our goal is to help the viewers of this program make a promotional video, either a video bumper, either an intro video, or a promo video or commercial that they can use. Now, in defining the differences between some of these, a video blog. Now, blogging is the idea of people using words, photos, and videos in order to communicate and share and express their opinions on things. So a video blog is typically going to be a very simple video presentation combined with words or text that people can use. We'll get into video blogs much more extensively later on. Whereas a video commercial is going to be just like what we're all familiar with, a 15-second, 30-second, 60-second commercial with design in the pacing and the structure and the presentation towards a specific call to action. Whether it's a 15-second, hey, you're watching Black Reflections TV, log into the blackreflectionstv.com. So whatever the call to action is, that's what's going to be one of the differentiations for a video commercial or the promo video versus a bumper. So dear, you want to talk a little more about this before you show some more?
Yes. So the things that you'll need in producing the commercial for your brand, as he was saying, you're thinking of, again, the keywords, your brand colors, your logo, and the messaging, and it will complete with a call to action. So I'll go ahead and play one of the commercials we have. It's a very brief promo, but it's for one of our brands, Dr. Videos. Let's take a look.
During these times, are you looking for up-to-date medical information for you and your family? Watch Dr. Videos. Visit drvideos.tv.
Very brief and to the point. So the call to action there is visit drvideos.tv.
And again, when you're running videos on YouTube, the 15-second, the 30-second commercials, or if you're running videos on Hulu or some of these OTT TV channels or podcasts, it's going to be the short, quick commercials, unless you have a very long commercial, which may fall into an infomercial combining kind of a how-to format. Now, again, today we're not going to talk about the demo videos too much. We're not going to talk about performance videos too much. But dear, you want to share some other samples before we move on?
Yes, I will. And I'm so glad that you mentioned about places like Hulu, because previously you had to have a minimum $50,000 ad spend with Hulu, but they have recently opened a self-serve ad portal, and you can begin advertising on Hulu for as little as $500. So you should take a look at that as an option for your business. And yes, I will play the video for one of our other previous clients. This was for their grand opening video. And you'll notice different elements here, including animations, as well as some drone footage. So let's take a look. LOL Kids Club.
All right, I
And
can't front. You know,
yes,
watching that video makes me miss those times when we could all be out close like that. You know,
yes,
when we could all be up in there, you know, running about. But we want to send words of encouragement. We know that the times are changing, and we know that we will soon be able to be congregated like that once again. You know, now clearly a promo video like that would not run as a commercial, but it may be live on a website or may be distributed via social media where we did do an ad spend supporting it. So, and that got thousands and thousands of views and generated business for the clients as well. Dear, you want to talk? Were you going to say anything before we move on to this next part?
I was. I wanted to say a special thank you to Troy Knowles, a senior instructor here at Super Live Producers, and to Gregor, who also worked to provide the drone shots as you saw them there on set, and as well as Janine Gray.
Yes. Thank you, dear. Yes.
Yep.
The Super Live Urban Freelancers crew. So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk a little bit about this process. You know, the amount of time and steps that we spend in each of these stages really depends upon which of these videos back here that we're creating, you know, which formats. So some we're going to spend more time than other, but this is the general process. And dear, you want to talk about this?
So making a video, the production process. We talked about the production life cycle previously, so I know that you have your notes for that already. So I'm going to list all of these. So for those who are watching on LinkedIn and Facebook, you're able to take notes. And again, this is Super Live Producers, the 12-week training and certification program on live streaming and web video. And we are giving instructions on how to make a web video today. So the first thing, determine your goals. Yes, keywords and messaging. You want to create your script, narrate your video, edit your narration. Then you want to curate your assets or create your assets, depending on which one you choose. It may be a combination of both.
Now, can we define curate, dear? Can we define curate for those who understand? What did I mean by curate?
Yes, curate means to gather and to collect, to organize by a specific system by which you are organizing. For example, in the parts of speech, if you notice, there were many different assets. We had the animated characters, we had words, text, images, different pieces like the cake and the bikes. These were things that were not drawn by hand by us or by an individual artist, but these were assets that were curated from sites that provide graphics and animated assets. So that is an example of curation, whereas creating an asset may be something that you create. Perhaps it's a specific logo or an element that you make in a site like Canva. That's where you create the elements, combining them together to make something that is unique to you. And that's
you may create a video. You may create an audio track. You may create animation, element, so with curation, because once upon a time for us to make videos, the only way to do it was to take a video camera and film something with the video, or to take our hands and make an illustration and make an animation. Nowadays, in this digital world, we have access to repositories of digital assets. This includes photos, this includes animation, this includes music. Now these assets, some of them may be free and public domain assets, and we're going to show you some sources for that. Others may be commercial company providers like Getty Images and these other places. Either case, the idea is we can sit here at our computer and we can create an original video animated or a video project without having to shoot a thing if we want to and if we need to. Literally, without shooting a thing. How to create a video without shooting a thing. It is through the curation of assets. And it is also through the creation of assets, because then, as I mentioned, before we had to find locations, find guests, get props, get sets, get costumes. Now, if we want to create a video, we can turn on a webcam like this. We can turn on a mobile phone. We can use a green screen to put the backdrops behind us. We can make virtual props, as we'll show you with some of Shatar's things with one of her Halloween projects recently. So these two steps of curating assets and creating assets They're just two words on here, but it's a world of possibilities. And we're going to show you some more of those shortly.
Yes, a wonderful world of possibilities. And I will go ahead and share another one of the things that combines assets. This one is for Super Live producers as well. And if you're paying attention to the different pieces, some pieces were made in Canva, and then it was also edited in Adobe Premiere Pro. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one and look at some of the pieces that might have been curated to make this promo.
Have you always dreamed of being a live stream producer? Now's your chance to get started. Go to superliveproducers.com and use code SAVE75 to save 75% off for Cyber Monday. That's superliveproducers.com. That's superliveproducers.com.
So if
Thank you for sharing that one, dear.
Oh, sure. The video asset, previously you would have to hire a model, find your wardrobe, find your props, and align all of these things, hair, makeup, then recording sessions, your camera person, all of their gear. Now you're able to go to a place like Canva and find the footage that you need to create that commercial or web video.
And not only find the footage in Canva, but you can make the commercial in Canva. You know, you can create it. You can create your 16:9 HD commercial, your square commercial, and your vertical commercial right there in Canva, as we'll explore shortly.
Yes, and I am an advocate of the arts. So for all of the artists and all of the models and performers who previously would have to go into physical sessions, now that is one of the reasons why we've even created this live stream and web video program, so that you can learn how to create these professional assets for yourself right from home, that you yourself can license to other television stations and agencies that may need this type of material.
Yes, if we were managing, once upon a time through New Vista Studios, we said, hey, Shatar and I have enough experience. Let's manage some artists out here, but then the business changed so substantially. However, if we were managing any models, actors, or folks who we wanted to get their faces more known expeditiously, pretty quickly, we would set up some pro photo sessions for them in a variety of situations, and we would distribute those pictures for free through some of the photo sharing sites that we're about to show you. They offer royalty-free stock footage for people who are looking for footage for their programs and their projects. So dear, let's get on through this list. So I know folks are about ready to get started on their videos.
Yes. So build the scenes, design the scenes, build the scenes, add your royalty-free music. We'll show you where to get that. Editing, we have all of these, intro to timelines, kinetic text. Now,
let's talk about kinetic text.
Exactly. I have a sample for you right here. Let's take a look at this video promo, which has a text that was added to a software that has a template. You literally put your words in, and the template can create the video asset for you, and then you edit it with the other pieces that you need, like audio. So let's take a look. This is for one of our channels called All Women TV, which is also found on Roku.
Wonderful promo, dear. So kinetic text is literally motion text. Kinetic meaning motion. So there are software tools and services that, just like PowerPoint. PowerPoint actually, as I think about it, it was one of the first things to introduce animation and kinetic text to people. Because you could go into a PowerPoint and you could decide which video part of your presentation was going to come in before the other. You could decide the transitions between it, so yes. So just in general, though, kinetic text is motion text, and it's the ability to create our message just through motion text, through backgrounds, through sounds and sound effects, and so as we go through editing, there's multiple modes of editing. Some modes of editing are done in what we call storyboard format, where it's basically like PowerPoint, where we build scenes and we build elements on those scenes, and then we create the transitions between the elements on the scenes, and we create the transitions between the scenes themselves. The other mode of editing that we do is called timeline-based editing. That means that we may have a video row, an audio row, and we drag and drop assets. And again, we'll show you guys these, shortly. There are other tools that we use that are for creating slideshows. like PowerPoint lets us create slideshows, but there's other free and commercial software just for creating slideshow presentations, timing still images, adding motion to still images, and making timing with the music. And again, it's the transitions. There's other tools that we'll show in this presentation here that are just for making animation, such as the popular whiteboard animation tools, that we see people are using. And there's other things we'll get into talking about transitions. Mixing and mastering is the process. And I'm kind of rushing through this because we want to make sure we can get out this theory. We can move from the theory part and get into everyone making the video here. So mixing and mastering is the process of, once we've completed our video, of making sure our audio levels are at the correct level for distribution, make sure our color images are matched and correct, and make sure that the video files are exported and presented in the format to retain the quality. That means the maximum visual quality, but that the files are small enough for us to distribute on Roku or on our website or other things like that.
Yes.
You have anything to say there?
I do. As we're talking, because I'm going to play the one from Scream Streams TV, which shows an animation over live video, how to take a live video and turn it into animation. And then when we come back, I'll talk about exporting, because you want to think about where you are exporting that. Is it going to play as a television commercial? Are you sending it to Amazon? All of these things have different export settings required, and you want to know that before you start your export. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Even before you start your video, because if you're going to export something for this a square video, but you have framed everything for widescreen, then some of your video is going to be cut off and cropped. So yes, you must give consideration to that. So we'll talk about that some more.
Absolutely. All right. And now promo for Scream Streams TV. Take a look at which things were live action and which things became animated.
You are watching Scream Streams TV. Super Live Streams presents Scream Streams TV. With your host, Sapphire. Enjoy tonight's special movie double feature. Number 1, Night of the Living Dead. Number 2, Grim Weaver. And now, Scream Streams TV.
So that's a great example. Wonderful work again by Wifey, because I was like, I ain't trying to mess with no Halloween stuff there. We got all this other stuff to do. But she had a vision, and she had a vision that she, of this character, the play off of the Elvira. So that was an example of a show Open that we also used as a promo and that we ran as a promotional video as well. So let's spend a little time talking about exporting, dear, and then let's dig on and get up into this.
Exactly as he said. Think about the export settings. What is it HD? Is it a 1080 by 1080? Are you planning to put this exclusively on TikTok, or are you planning to run it as a TV commercial or perhaps as a Facebook ad? So you want to think about that even as you're grabbing your assets that are going into it and before you start your export. So when you are exporting, if you are planning to do a live stream, they have lower bitrate settings than if you were planning to make a television commercial. So you want to look up on your live stream provider's settings list what those export settings are so that you have an optimal file for that live stream.
Yes. So as we go back through talking about our other type of videos options, and again, we're focusing here on a promo video. We want everyone to learn at least the basic techniques so they can create and begin experimenting with their promo video. However, there's also demo videos. Right now on YouTube, it's huge just to see unboxings of new products. That's people receive a new product and they show themselves opening it and holding it and creating the cyber experience for other people as if they experienced that. That's a demo video. A demo video may also show how to, it may show the basics of using something. However, a how-to or a tutorial video is going to take that demo video and go more at length. It's going to start breaking it down into the processes and the steps so other people can learn those skills and capabilities. Then there's also performance videos. This is, of course, people doing live musical performances, poetry, spoken word, whatever. The difference may be between a video blog and a performance is we may give more considerations to the audio quality or the lighting or other things to make it be more dramatic in the presentation. Anything else to say here before we move on there?
Yes, narrative versus things that are not narrative, extremely important. So you're thinking about what you are going to present from the beginning. Is it going to be strictly informative, or is it going to be strictly fantasy? Is it going to be something completely narrative that has nothing to do with reality, or is it strictly educational or something that is reality based? So all of those things make a difference in the script that you will write for your video, and we're going to get started with how to write the script as well as the additional pieces that you'll need for this video.
All right, cool. All right, so now everyone should have their Google Doc open. And up here, you're writing down some of your goals. Our goal, promote Super Live producers on YouTube. Okay, so now we know because we're promoting this goal for the promo is going to be to promote on YouTube. We know that our master file needs to be a 1080 HD video. 1920 by 1080 in order to, have high quality there on YouTube versus if we were going to promote it on TikTok or on Instagram. Then you're identifying the messaging. What is the message? Well, we need to let people know who we are. We are Super Live producers. What are we offering? An e-learning and a training program. Then the other thing we would add is, how can they contact us?
And I'm going to put the size of the of your screen here. So 1920 by 1080. Those are the settings that will be required for the HD, the widescreen video, also known as 16 by 9.
So again, as you're thinking about the goals for your video, you're saying, where do I want this video to go? Who do I want it to reach? Then for the messaging, you're saying, what is this video message is it supposed to impart? In our case, we see that our keywords here are live streaming, web video, and e-learning. And then we say, what tone do we want to impart? For Shatar's Halloween project, Scream Streams, we knew we wanted the tone to be fun and campy and tongue in cheek. And that tone was conveyed by the music, by the visuals, by the pacing, her walking with the little skeletons, all of that, but in certain other situations, such as the Black Friday promos or the Cyber Monday, there's the urgency. You got to get this before Cyber Monday ends, before Black Friday ends. There's the tone of urgency, right? Now, as we're in this pandemic era and so many of us are homebound and things, I'm noticing that there's a lot of videos that have tones of activity and action and kinetic motion and things like that. So you want to think of what is going to be the tone for your project, because that tone and these keywords and these messaging, they're going to impact our decisions as we pick our photos, our video, and our other assets. So
yes, and I'll say something about tone. So here we've listed the 3 items that will be present for tone for the promo that we're making. So these tones will actually change depending on what is occurring for the promotion of your business. For example, you may have a Valentine's Day sale, and then the messaging may be slightly different from the Mother's Day sale or the Father's Day sale. So you want to think about these. And as we've also mentioned, the editorial calendar, you can determine this messaging well in advance. You don't have to wait until the holiday is right then occurring. You can plan your Mother's Day campaign and your Father's Day campaign even now and make video assets for those events as part of your company's promotions for your brand.
Yes, absolutely. So keywords, messaging. And why do we take the time to put the keywords and the messaging in this Google Doc? Well, the fact we'll be copying and pasting that information as we distribute this video everywhere. Whether it's an ad campaign, whether it's a YouTube, video, we'll be just copy, paste those keywords. And those keywords and messaging, they evolve into our script. So dear, you want to talk about that?
The script is so important. Think about the time that you will take to complete this. Will this be a 15-second promo, or will it be a 30-second promo, or will it be a 90-second video? So for commercial promos on OTT streaming channels, 15 seconds and 30 seconds are great. You'll notice you'll see the timer sometimes even going, showing you how many seconds have gone by in that commercial. So 15 to 30 seconds are really ideal. Occasionally you'll do a 60-second commercial or promo, and those are good for things like Facebook ads. Even Instagram videos are good for 60 seconds. So think about that as you're writing your script. So open with something that grabs your viewers, deliver clear messaging in the body of your script, and then have the call to action there as your part 1, part 2, part 3. That call to action is your part 3, so people know where to go and what to do, what their instruction is in interacting with that video.
And even if you don't excuse me, even if you don't want to write a full script, you can write your outline and then use that outline for your improvisations. So a lot of times what Shatara we'll write our outline. We may use some index cards or something like that. And then we may just take the phone and start recording, vamping some voiceovers. We approximate what we want to say, trying to get those keywords, trying to get that messaging in. Then we cut that down. We edit that voiceover down into the final voiceover. So that's the way you can do it if you don't go through the whole process of writing a full script, right? Get those keywords, get that messaging, write your outline, and then begin to record yourself, freestyling some of that, but then put that up in the timeline, chop it up, clean it up, and that can become your cohesive narration.
Yes, so don't let this time pass you by. Right now, if you have a 3-act structure, you have a beginning, you have a middle, and you have an end. So think about what the beginning is going to say. How do you want to open your promo or your commercial? Go ahead and jot your notes down literally right now. What you want people to hear when they immediately begin playing your commercial. Then think about the body of your text. What is the messaging there in the middle? Then think about your call to action and go ahead and jot it down. Is it visit your website? Is it click the button below? Is it download my free audiobook? What is it that you would like the people to do when they finish hearing your commercial? And you want to make a note of what that is so you have it for yourself.
And you may create a scenario A and B. You may do what we call split testing. You may make 2 commercials. You may have one call to action where you say, visit our website, and then you send people to a specific page on your website and you track the activity there using Google Analytics or YouTube, Facebook ad script, so you're tracking the activity there. There's a few different options to it. But so, hey, dear, it's already 11:50 up in here, right? So
yes,
we've got
space. All right. Yes, I do.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
I see.
All right, so let's go ahead and roll. So you've created your script or you've created your outline. You have your clear calls to action. So you have your hook, your visual hook. It may be a picture at the top of your video. It may be a dramatic action, or like the one guy, we just saw a video recently. He ran up to the camera and just said, "Stop scrolling," and then that's the hook. That's the visual hook. Grab their attention. Now, what do you want to tell them about who you are, what you're doing, what you have to offer, what problems you're solving? What is the problem? How are you a solution? These are standard things that marketers use in these presentations. Okay. So you've written that outline, you've written that script. Now it's time to record your narration. Can you tell us about your process, dear?
Absolutely. So here it is. Download Audacity if you haven't already. Audacity, it's a free software. Go ahead and download it, and you can record narration in Audacity. Make sure that you're working with a powerful microphone. You have different settings that you can set your microphone. So you want it to not be omnidirectional. We'll go into this more when we're talking about audio recording and voiceovers, but you want to make it so that it's unidirectional, so it's getting just your voice and not all of the background or the room noise primarily. And then record your narration. So you have your script, record your narration, test your audio levels before you record the whole thing, and then get that narration in the can.
Now, if you do not have a pro microphone, if you need to, if you go up in the bathroom, old school style, take your phone here and use your phone. Now, if you have headphones, if you have Bluetooth or wired headphones, they are actually going to record a decent quality narration, because they are designed to pick up the best audio quality either from our ears or from our vocals or our chest, these vibrations. So you can use headphone mics in order to record a decent narration. Find a quiet location without a lot of echoes and go ahead and get that narration recorded, or a couple of variations of that narration recorded. And again, the program that Shatar mentioned is available on PCs and Macs is Audacity, Audicity. Google Audacity, and you could download a free application, or you can use GarageBand as well if you're on the Mac platform. All right, so you've got your narration recorded. Now, what's the next step here, dear?
So with your narration, you're thinking about the quality from the beginning, things that are going to affect the editing. And I'll go ahead and put Audacity up here so people can go ahead and download it. With your editing, if you have echoes or anything that is in your recording, you're not really able to take that out. There are some things you can do to try to clean it up, but you want it to be as clean from the beginning as possible. So some pros, as they're doing remote production, they're saying, use something that absorbs sound. Try not to be in a huge room with lots of echoes. If you are, even put a blanket over it. You work with something that will absorb additional sound so it has a nice clear recording of your voice. Once you have that, go ahead and edit your narration. Take out the ums, the ahs. Any place where there is a breath, you can either cut that out or what's called generate silence. Make that area of the audio silent so that they're not hearing that, where you may clear your throat or take a deep breath or a sigh. Edit all of those things out so you have clear, clean audio from the beginning. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to our store. Whatever it is, then do the body of your narration and then your call to action. So visit my site. That's visit my site. Make sure you repeat it twice so they can get the link and they can follow it. So that's your narration.
And if you have installed awesome screenshots, if you have installed Loom, you can also use those programs in order to record your narration and your screen capture, as we mentioned before as well. All right, cool. So on to the next. Curate.
Yes, fortunately, we talked about curating your assets.
Yes.
So now you have your audio in the timeline. It's ready to go. Curate your assets. Now you need your audio bed. You need the video pieces. So you want to curate all of the assets and have them in your file folders so that you can drag them to your timeline as needed. And
so that may be gathering product shots. So you may be gathering your images. You may be gathering existing videos. You may be going to some of the sites we're going to show in a few minutes. Pixabay, pixabay.com, Pexels, Getty Images, story blocks. These are all collections of audio and video to which you can go through and begin finding things. Because now that you have your script and now you have your narration, you begin to think, I need a visual depiction of what we're talking about. What things can help communicate our tone or our message or the things we're explicitly talking about. That's kind of the mindset as you're going through, these assets, through the curation of these assets. Do you have anything else to say? Now, I have the links for Pexels. Let me see these other ones down here. You have anything you want to say there?
That the curation of assets is really key. It makes the process to go by more swiftly, because if you're in the middle of recording and then you realize that there's a piece that's missing, there's a video piece that you need, then you have to interrupt your editing session to go and find that piece. And if you have to make it, it may take even longer. So try to gather all of the assets that will be incorporated into your video from the beginning.
And so for those folks who are following along, making your videos and making your projects, you can go over to pixabay.com right here. This is a site where you can find free images, free videos that you can use throughout your project. So again, now you're going to have your outline. You're going to have your notes over here. You're going to come over here to Pixabay. And in our case, we just first enter our keywords. So we enter one of our keywords and we see what becomes available. Now, if you ask, how does Pixabay make their money? Well, you'll notice, see these sponsored images up here? If we click on any of those, it's going to take us to a site, iStock, where they want to sell us site photos that we can use, and Pixabay gets a little cut of that. However, down below here, these are free images that we can use relating to our keyword. And again, you'll see that the quality and may vary, and that's why we have alternative sources as well. So we enter our keywords, we're able to download photos, download videos. Now here's another site over here, Pexels. Pexels has very high quality photos and images. Again, I'll type this time web video. So as we are finding our photos and our videos, we're downloading them. We're putting them in a folder. We're adding them to our curated collection. And again, if we think we need 10 photos, we're going to grab 30 photo or videos from Pixabay or Pexels, because the quality can vary, tremendously, but now you also see there's ones like this that include a green screen. We're able to use programs to key that out and put our logo up in there. And there's a whole line of specialized art for that. Now, let's say you need higher quality photos, or you need some classic photos. We can come over to Getty Images, and we can type our keyword here, web video, and we'll notice immediately, okay, first of all, there's 17,000 images here. But look how much more specifically we can get with some of these images, from demographics and just general quality. So for these Getty images, though, we're going to pay a licensing fee per image, and the licensing fee will also be dependent upon where we're going to use these photos. So if we're going to use them only on our website, we may pay one fee. However, if we're going to use them in a documentary or in a video program, then we're going to pay another fee. But again, look at all these options. These are videos. These are 4K videos that are available here. So if we wanted to add one of these, we would add it to our shopping cart. And then when we check out, we go check out, and it shows us the licensing terms, and we download it, and we're able to use it in our project. Now, again, we see these different licensing options. There are some of the things, and you have to look at these licensing options carefully. Be sure that if you're going to release something for television or video means that it's within the licensing agreement. So again, free images, pixabay.com, free images and videos, Pexels, commercial images, gettyimages.com. Now there's also commercial storyblocks.com is a archive of videos, audio, and images that are available to be used and licensed in your projects, very much like Getty Images. However, Getty Images is a historical, again, 25 years old. It's been used in newspapers, magazines, TV shows for a very long time. Their licensing is going to be higher than what you're going to find over here with Storyblocks. You can come pay a monthly or annual membership, and you get access to all sorts of audio, video files, and everything. You can get an audio-only membership if you're doing a podcast or audio commercial, or video, or both. So you're able to take these assets that you find from Pixabay, from Pexels, from Getty Images, from Storyblocks. Now we're gathering, we're curating, we're building our playlist for my DJ homies out there. We're building our assets. If we think of the hibachi restaurant, we watch them chop up all the vegetables, all the meat. We see them get all the ingredients together before they go over to the grill and start remixing them. Do we have any questions before we move on, dear?
This current chat is clear.
Okay, cool. Now, the thing that's cool about Canva, and one of the reasons why we emphasize so much about using Canva, is it combines the best of some of these capabilities in general. It combines the best of using slides. It combines the best of being able to curate, because it has built-in assets. Right here, we're able to search for photos that we can use commercially. We're able to search for videos. And so as we are building our videos in Canva, we don't necessarily have to go all over the web in a curation process like we have to do when using some of the other services. Canva's going to have these things built in. And that's one of the things when we're paying for a pro access to Canva, it is having these elements and these assets, all of these little animated backgrounds, photos, videos, all of these different things that are able to enhance the music, down here, you see we're able to enter keywords. We can come over here, enter videos, and we literally build our videos here in Canva scene by scene. We talked earlier about how you build scenes. Well, here you just do plus, you add another scene, you're able to drag elements, put it in the background. So if you're looking to build a promo in this session, like we're saying right now, if you're ready to invest a little bit of money, you can go up into Canva, $12.95 a month, and get immediate access to all these assets. And you can follow along from here. You have anything else to say there?
I'm so glad that you showed that. So people may be wondering how to work with video in Canva, exactly as he just showed. You open their template library, you select the video, you could even put a keyword here in the search box, and then it will generate all of the videos that are tagged with that word. You drag the video over to your canvas here, and you make sure that it's a video. You can click play and it will play. Also, when it's time to export your video, make sure that you export it as an MP4 file. You can also export that same video as a JPEG or as a PNG. And of course, JPEG will simply be a photo. PNG will also be a photo. But fortunately, Canva now has video, and they did not previously have video. So this is a very good thing.
Yes, indeed. So you've curated your assets. Shatar, you want to mention a little bit about, orientation again, as we talk about, and the planning and the curation of assets?
Yes. So when you're recording, if you're recording with your phone, you want to do a horizontal video, the one on the left. That will generate a 16:9 HD image. But if you're planning just to do a social media feed, you may work with the vertical video, and that's good for something like TikTok. You also want to create your assets. So if you're not curating your assets, you will create your assets. So you might use your phone or your camera to create that asset, that video that is going to be in your commercial.
Yeah, so creating assets may be the screen capturing of pieces that you may, as we mentioned earlier, you may use Google Slides or PowerPoint. You then use your Loom or use your awesome screenshot. And now you've captured some motion video. However, you may still need to sequence your assets, so we'll get to that. But first, we're creating each of those pieces, titles. Hey, Derek, can you talk about some of the assets you had to create for some of the promo videos we just saw?
Oh, sure. Everything from titles to text. So right now, while we're in this building session, you want to think about creating your assets. What assets are you going to have in your commercial? Do you have them already? Do you need to curate them? Do you need to create them with your camera? Something that you can actually do today. Think about the assets that you have at your fingertips that you can combine or create to incorporate into your commercial.
So if you're creating a promo video for your online course, if you're creating a promo video for your iTunes song, the first asset you may have is a logo, or you may have a promotional headshot, or you may have a album cover or a visual graphic upon which you want to build your presentation around. So you've got those photos, you've got those videos, you've got your audio sound files, you've got your narration files all together. Now you're ready to begin designing your video. So dear, let's talk about your editing process.
So we start with the audio bed. So now you have your voiceover, you need your music. You can work with any of these services to find royalty-free music or music that you yourself have created or music that you yourself have licensed. Do not use someone else's copyrighted music, and this is for many reasons. A, you want to be fair, you want to follow the law, and you want to respect the artists. B, if you are streaming music that belongs to someone else on Facebook or YouTube, they will shut that video down, and you do not want that for your promo or for your stream. So make sure, in order to avoid that, that you acquire your music from legitimate sources or create it yourself.
Yes, in fact, YouTube and Facebook maintain lists of audio tracks that they have already cleared that you're able to use in your own projects. We'll include those lists in the course in our directory listing for the program here.
So Storyblocks has audio files that you can use, unlimited stock music and sound effects. You can combine them And that's another pro tip. You don't want to just use the same music that everyone else may be using for something. You want to combine it. So if you noticed with some of the holiday pieces, we may have a traditional holiday song, but to open it, we may put chimes or some additional audio effects so that it is not the same soundtrack that everyone else is using for their holiday piece.
And if you want to look for even more commercial music, you can come over here to somewhere like BeatStars, where you can license music tracks from you can license exclusive tracks, which means unlike some of the ones in the libraries, this track is going to belong to you. And not only that, with BeatStars, you get the stems. So you are able to go in and remix your music using digital audio workstations even more. So it's not simply getting a mixed track this at a set duration. Here you can actually take the pieces and customize, shorten it, lengthen it, remix it more efficiently as well. All right, so we've got the royalty-free music. We've laid our audio bed. So can you talk about building your scenes and editing your early scenes, dear?
Yes, take it in the 3-act structure at the minimum. So think about your open. What are they hearing and seeing at the open? Then think about the middle, and then think about the end. So then you're building your scenes and you're identifying and acquiring those assets you need to make those scenes in your timeline. Then go to your timeline and begin combining the assets. Put in your audio bed, make sure your music is there, make sure you combine the audio to make your sound unique. Also, make sure you're looking at your audio levels. You're not having it reach the top of your audio meter. Make sure it's just, if you're looking at the colors, you may see green, yellow, and red on your audio meter in the Adobe Premiere Pro timeline. Avoid hitting the red because that will create distortion as it is being played back for your listeners and viewers. So make sure it's a nice, clear audio level, and then begin to put your video assets.
So, dear, let's stop. Let me stop you here. Because we are already an hour and 12 minutes into it. Let's go ahead and pull up your timeline, one of your timelines, to demonstrate this. So now we're not just talking it. So, okay, so here's what it is. If you're following along and you're building your videos, okay, you may be in Google Slides and you may have a series of slides that you outline. You may come over here just like Shatara and I did for this presentation. You may have built a series of slides that are your intro, your tease, part 1, part 2, part 3, and your call to action. You may just have 4 or 5 or 6 slides, right? Again, that may be a tease, an intro, part 1, part 2, call to action, right? So in either case, whether it is in Google Slides, whether it's in PowerPoint or in Canva, as you see over here, we're doing the same thing. We're building our each page is going to represent a scene. So we're going to have an intro and we're going to have an outro, and at the end with a call to action, right? So come along, follow along with us. Go ahead and add those extra slides on your Canva, add those extra slides on your Google Slide. Now, if you are more comfortable with timeline editing, then you may use a program. You may come over here and download, you may go to OpenShot. Let's say you're timeline editing. That means that you're used to editing how we do traditionally with our audio video files. OpenShot.org is a free video editing program that you can download on your Mac or PC that is going to give you capabilities for timeline editing, very much like what we have used traditionally for our very expensive programs like Adobe Premiere. However, OpenShot is 100% free. So you see how these tracks are arranged, audio, video, and people are able to drag and drop and adjust pieces within the timeline. This is the difference between the timeline editing that we're referring to and the storyboard editing over here. Each of them is a slightly different technique. The benefit of the timeline editing, such as what we see with the OpenShot or what we see with Adobe Premiere, is we get super precision on where things can go. You know, where our audio can go, where our video files can go, where our transitions can go. However, the advantages of using something like this is it's super fast with these storyboards. If we want to build a promo video here, you know, we literally put our framework. We have 6 slides right here. So for our intro, we may go to backgrounds right here, and we made it say I want to type video streaming or web video, enter my keyword. And again, here's what's cool. You can do the same thing right over here in Google Slides for free. You come up, you type insert, you come up to images, click search from web, and you're able to do the same thing. Enter your keywords right here, web video, and look, we're able to pull in photos and videos that we're able to use in our presentation. Drag and drop. So again, create your outline, create these slides, create these intro, beginning, middle, end, call to action slides. Then go down your keywords, go down your script, and begin to pull the assets in. Begin to pull the background images in. You know, I typed web video and it gave me a web video, literally. You know, so you pull your background elements in, then you may add your text, some text elements, intro, blah, 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 you know. All right, so now that may, you know, be your intro. You may add your logo. And so now you're just going to begin to go down the line and build these storyboards. Now, when we're using these storyboard building programs like this, we have to look at each scene and then each asset on the scene. So we have the ability to animate and vary the way that these assets come onto the screen. You know, this is how you're able to customize your words, your images. I mean, look at some of these options. You know, in one click, we can radically change the look. In 2 clicks, just by changing background and text, look how easy, you know, we've been able to do that there. You know, and it's telling us that this is going to be 30 seconds. So here's our little video, but we didn't put any motion. We didn't put any you see the transitions between the storyboards. You know, this is with just a couple of clicks. You know, again, Google Slides, we do the same thing. We insert images, we insert videos, and we begin to build those scenes. If we're doing the storyline editing, dear, can you show your storyline and talk about some of the editing you've done?
I will absolutely. And that's so helpful because in Canva itself, you can add animations to that text. You can have it come in and enter a certain way and then exit a certain way. And it also, you want to notice that as you're combining the different pieces of the storyboard, the transitions that occur between those pieces will affect how your video looks. When you click export on Canva as MP4, if you have 2 or more slides, 3 or more slides or more, it will export that MP4 not as a zip file, but as an actual video. So it will make piece 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, and it will export that and make a complete video for you right there in Canva. Now, if you're working with a pro editor or you yourself are familiar with Adobe Premiere Pro, you can work in the timeline like this. Here we have a simple timeline. We have a video asset that was made in Canva. You see the animation there. All of this animation was done in Canva. These assets come in with the animation just like this, and there's an animated graphic. The person doing yoga in the center is already animated in Canva, along with the waves and the bouncing ball in the top left corner. Then we come to our call to action slide, which is visit the superliveproducers.com. You can use the code SAVE75. This motion graphic is also right there in Canva, and it came with the bouncing ball. Also, see, we have the logo there and the brand colors at the top left and right. And then these motion graphics are along the same theme as the opening of our slide, hence the colors and the waves on this slide. Now let's take a look down here. We have the audio, which is the voiceover, and then we have the music, which is here. So when we play it, it looks like this. And let me know if you guys can hear
Get
the
tips
audio.
right now on how to rise your Zen. Go to superliveproducers.com. On sale now for some.
So you'll notice the audio levels were here. So if it reaches the red, you want to turn the audio level down. If you are looking at the audio and you're wondering which one is too loud, you can simply mute one of the tracks and then play
Cyber Monday. Use code
one track at a time,
to save 75% off.
or bring it back in, or mute the other in that way. So that is that promo, and that's how that was made in the Adobe timeline. Same thing with this one, a piece made in Canva, a voiceover, and then music underneath. And this one as well. This is simply a video and the audio which were brought in to the timeline. Now, if you need to add something like a logo, you can always add the logo as an additional track here in the Adobe Premiere Pro timeline.
So again, you can recreate this sort of editing experience using the free tools like OpenShot and openshot.org, as well as their Blackmagic Design, which does cameras and accessories for video production, also has DaVinci Resolve. It's another free editing tool. It's free on the basic level. It's great for learning the basics of editing and then segueing into a more powerful program. If you're committed, if you're ready to go ahead and invest, there's no greater tool worth learning than the Adobe Premiere editing program. And again, we've referred to video as a grammar. So Adobe Premiere is our pen. It's our pad. It's one of the key tools. It's the place where we take those hibachi vegetables. It's the wok where we mix them all up together, but again, you may not want to deal with Adobe Premiere because it's a very powerful, complicated tool. So you may start off with OpenOffice, or you may say, hey, I'm going to stay up here in the realm of Canva. I'm going to stay in Google Slides or in PowerPoint. Now, making these assets, there's many tools that we use in our hibachi grill. This one right here is one of the ones that we've used for the past 5 years consistently to make motion graphics and animated elements. Videos is a template-based system, very much like Canva, except for videos is focused just on creating animated assets, logos, intros, outros, titles, transitions. So we'll come over here, we'll customize now, and they have a couple of different modes. You can pay for a membership, like we have a lifetime membership. You can also join what they call their template club, where every month they add new videos. You see a lot of seasonal ones here as well. So we're big supporters. You're able to, as you see, portrait mode, landscape, square. These are all some of the variety of ways by which you can create these assets. We use another one, Motion Den. Motion Den has a whole wide suite of motion templates, some amazing, some dope ones. So again, this is just a color in our toolbox. Videos, another color in our toolbox. If you want to go visit these and you want to use our affiliate links, for which we get a little tiny profit, you can visit superlivestreams.com/videos, superlivestreams.com/videos, and you'll be able to directly get taken to this page with our affiliate link. And again, videos, Motion Den. Here's another one that we use to create animation elements. We mentioned about the whiteboard videos. These are the videos where you see people's hands drawing pieces like this, the doodle sketches and things. This is the Explaindio program. It allows you to create animated doodles and sketches along with kinetic text. And very easily, you can fully complete training videos, promotional videos, and segments just within the Explaindio program. However, because we move so swiftly in Adobe Premiere, we use it to create assets for us, which we bring into Adobe Premiere and we whip them up, hibachi them up, all there together in the Adobe Premiere. So again, videos, Motion Den, Explaindio, Pixabay, Pexels, Getty Images, BeatStars, Story Blocks. All of these are how we're getting those assets. All of these are how we are curating, how we are creating assets, which we then bring into our editing program, OpenShot, Adobe Premiere, and finish, or we finish in Explaindio, or we finish it in Canva. What else would you like to say?
Yes, we have 2 questions here in the chat window. Ardell asks, will Google Slides export as a video or just as a PowerPoint? And there's another question as well.
Yeah, no, so Ardell, Google Slides will not export as a video by itself, right? However, when we combine it with this awesome screenshot, then what we're able to do is we come over here, we click present, and we start our awesome screenshot. Actually, let me do it reverse. I'll come over here, I'll start awesome screenshot. I'll click capture, and I will capture, or I will record this tab only, and I'll start recording. Okay, so now that I'm recording, I come up here to Google Slide, I click present. It is now recording this video full screen for us. So now see it right up there where awesome screenshot is showing, it's telling us that we're recording this video. When we're happy, we click this, and you see also that the Google Slides is set to auto present for us. We could either control it manually, like I'm doing here, or we could set a time frame by which it's going to auto advance. We are able to choose transitions between these assets and between these slides. So when it auto advances, that's what adds the motion. Then once we're finished, we click finish, we click stop right here. And look at that. This awesome screenshot video has been recorded for us right there. Now we have the asset made. We can come over here, download the video, and take it into our editing program and begin to use it, add stuff on top of it, and manipulate it further. In fact, that is what we do with our live stream sessions here. We go in, we add video, we edit, we clean them up. And in fact, we're at the point of having more than 20 hours of live streamed materials already. So now what we're doing is we're breaking down this program that you're watching right now as part of our free live stream or as a part of the Super Live Producers Training Program. It will live on its own lesson on Super Live Producers, and a lesson teaching people how to make promo videos. So what we're doing is we are breaking down our knowledge base into individual lessons, courses, and training programs, as well as preparing some of our new ones, including our documentary bootcamp and documentary training program launching January 10th, and we'll tell more about that in the near future as well. So again, we're adding stuff to our knowledge base. So if you're following along and if you're creating your promo materials, if you're using the slides, Google Slides program combined with awesome screenshots, then that is what you'll do step by step. You'll go through and record piece by piece, and then you'll bring them all together in Adobe Premiere, OpenShot, or one of these other programs. What was the other question?
Yes, Ada asks, what's the big difference between videos and Canva? They seem to do the same things.
Okay, good question. Videos was one of the pioneers in template-based motion graphics.
Can I show this one here on the left? This one on the left? Yes.
Right. Yes.
Exactly. So if you see this video, this is the same one that was incorporated for the All Women's TV. This is a template. You see the words joyful moments here on the screen as part of the video. And right here on the left, you see joyful moments. So you replace these words with your keywords for your brand, and this program will make the video for you.
Yeah, so it's template-based motion graphics. Whereas Canva, we build, and yes, Canva does have some templates. However, for the most part, the most powerful parts of Canva are based upon building our ability to build pieces in here. So these are templates that are within Canva. And so if I take this one right here, you'll see that this is a whole motion graphic. I just clicked on it and we're ready. We can start, we can click play and, we're able to start running with it. However, within videos, we can get more precise in changing the verbiage and stuff without having to change the animation pieces. Like we build, Canva is more of a construction tool. So you build pieces in Canva and build your layers and build your assets. In videos, these templates have already been created. And now we're just coming in and filling in the words. We can't change the motion too much on this template right here, but we can come in and change the exact words. We can change the colors. We can change the audio files associated with it, but we can't vary it too much. Whereas with Canva, we can come in here and make all sorts of little small changes to these pieces in their layout and their fonts. Like we can come right up in here, and if we want to use a different font, we click it, and bam, we have different fonts clicked. We don't have that precision in videos. However, to get finished pieces done the fastest, videos and motion den are amongst some of the fastest for doing that, because they have that. You just answer a series of questions, you fill it out, you add your logo, then it's ready to go. But we can't change the look of this too much beyond what's been provided for us. We can't change these background graphics right here or things like that. So we don't have, and if we want even more level of control over our motion tools, then we're going to learn and utilize the other Adobe tool, Adobe After Effects. And Adobe After Effects is a super powerful tool for creating motion graphics, video effects, transitions, and things like that you can use in your promo video. However, you have to be prepared to allow yourself a substantial learning curve. And in fact, by learning Adobe Premiere first, it'll help prepare you to learn Adobe After Effects to combine your pieces.
Yes, and there's a question in the private chat here. Wayne asks, can you import a background and then add titles and text in Canva?
Yes, you can. In fact, we come over here into Canva and we come up to upload right here. And we are able, and some of these videos may look familiar to you all, but yes, we're able to upload videos and pieces and begin to manipulate and utilize them in different ways within Canva as well. Yes, and we're actually able to do that in StreamYard, which we mentioned last week as our streaming platform, because the fact is, through careful planning of your outline and your assets, you can live stream and build your program in there. So if we built all of our titles before, if we built all of our pieces, then we were streaming live like the way Shatar has been rolling in these videos. We can do that same thing, and then we'll have a finished edited program at the end of the live stream. All right, and any other questions there, dear?
Chat is clear.
Okay, cool. And we appreciate everyone who's following along with us. We know that this is a lot of steps. We know this is a lot of information. In fact, this will be one of our half-day programs, but hopefully you're getting it. Hopefully you've got these programs open. Hopefully you've got some Canva experiences, or you're making some animated graphics and you're moving it along. So in terms of making animations, as we mentioned, Explaindio is fantastic. A wide variety of formats. And again, you may have never heard of some of these tools, because these tools that we're telling, they're created by small teams and entrepreneurs who are innovating off the grid. They're not the Adobes. OpenShot is maintained by a community that works for free. So you have to explore and look outside of just the commercial and mainstream things. There are some super powerful open source tools just like OpenShot. There's some amazing pro level tools like DaVinci Resolve that you just have to be willing to go and try. And you have nothing to lose by going and downloading DaVinci Resolve, going and downloading OpenShot, signing up for an Adobe trial, in order to test it. Now, key word about trials, don't sign up for this trial until you're ready to use it. It's like only 7 days. So what that means is, in this process, go get all your assets together.
Yes.
Make your storyboards, outline everything. Then come over here, download this Adobe trial and build your program, build your promo video using the free trial of Adobe. Any other questions over there, dear?
The chat is clear, but I just want to say also, for those who are just joining us, you're watching the Super Live Producers. This is the current 12-week training and certification program on live streaming and web video. And today we are concentrating on teaching the software and tools that are used to create professional web video.
Yes, we want folks watching this program here to know specific steps, specific tools that are going to help you make a promo video. Now, so let's say that you were just like, okay, this all sounds great, but dag, Maxie Shatar, y'all just told me like about 20 tools. I can't learn all that right now. I need a promo video done immediately. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to go over here to our good old Fiverr. And we're going to enter the words promo video. And we're going to come over here and we're going to see that there's 4,000 people offering their services. Look at this one person, 846 people have used their service to create a promo video. So I might start there. The pro services mean that these are people who have been validated in their ability to create professional level stuff, so you can turn that on as well. So that's just an out for anybody who's like, all right, sounds good, but I have to pay to get that done. Any other questions over there in the group there?
Yes, there's new information here in the chat. Ardell says, wealth of information, Maxie and Shatar. Thank you so much. And the objective is to make sure that you guys are able to produce your web videos. And thank you for the folks who are watching, who are not just passively watching, but who are following along and thinking of the assets that are going to go into your web video.
Yeah, so dear, you want to show another one of your the videos you finished recently before we go into mastering videos?
Yep, I will show one for documentary and reality TV. That's another one of our channels that is also on Roku. And this one was made in one of the motion graphics programs. Take a look at where you'll see the logo, how it's used, so how it is possibly added into the software, so what the input might look like, and the output that's created. So let's take a look. Documentary and reality TV.
So in order,
yes.
Go ahead, dear.
And so that one has a combination of two. You saw the logo in the center of the screen, so that's the one that was done through the software. And then you saw the logo at the bottom right. That is the one that was added in Adobe Premiere Pro. That way you have your logo on the screen at all times. And I do want to mention, you want to think of the TV safe lines when you're producing your things. Make sure that your graphics do not go all the way to the edges, not all the way to the borders, because some older television sets do not show all of the information that's outside of those TV safe lines. So try to keep things in the center. And if you are wondering, what is TV safe? Where can I see what that looks like? Just Google TV safe lines, and then you will see what it looks like, and you'll know where to place your materials on the screen.
And also lower thirds, like what we have right here on the screen, are another thing that we have to keep in mind as we're planning our streaming promo videos and things like that. We know that if Shatar and I had two more people on the screen right now, the person will be covered by that big circle there in our title, in our lower third. So we have to have many considerations, as we're planning out these promo videos and these graphics and these things like this. However, the benefit of using things like Canva is we can quickly make variations, as we mentioned previously. We can make variations in the dimensions, the ratios, and the fonts and the colors in order. Now that allows us to do a lot of testing with these promo videos. All right.
It does. It does. It absolutely does. So yes, and Canva, you can add, custom backgrounds that have graphics there. It will export a video. And then you're thinking about the mastering of your video. We have the 1920 by 1080 as the size. We saw that was already done there in Canva. And now there are different steps to master your video. So can you please talk about what's included in mastering?
Yes. So now we have finished our cuts in the timeline, either in the storyboard in Canva or in the timeline. And so now we have gone through the process of mixing our audio levels, making sure that the dialogue is nice and clear, that the sound effects and music are able to be heard. We have gone and set up and make sure everything's within the safety margins. Our text can be seen, our images can be seen. We've done color correction. Mastering is that process of bringing all those pieces together and creating that master video file, which you'll deliver to the client, or you'll upload to YouTube, or you upload to Google Ads or to Hulu or wherever it's going to go. And as we mentioned, you have to know the specifications for that master. What should be the bit rate? That's the amount of information that is transmitted per second. If we're going to go for distribution on cable television or somewhere where there's high speed, we may have a higher bit rate. If we're going to go on distribution over a streaming platform, we may have to compress it down to a lower bit rate. So as we're considering mastering, we're considering the aspect ratio of our files. We're considering the sizes of our files. We're considering where they're going to be going for the distribution, for the archiving. Are we archiving this video on a hard drive or on a Blu-ray disc or on a DVD? Our mastering, we need to know that information by the time we go into our mastering. And then from that, we may create 10 or 15 different files and now we have our master files and they're ready to be
Yes.
distributed.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
just a quick note on the mastering of your files, depending on where it's going, you want to think about that file size. So if you have a video that's, of a file size of 5, and that's your target, you don't want it to be 30 or 100 or 200, some really large sizes. So think about the file size as far as where it's going for your export as well.
Which is why Shatar mentioned you want to determine that even before you begin your projects, because there may be file size limitations where you're uploading your graphics. So you may need to have a master file that is one size, but then you may have to compress it down just a little just to meet those upload restrictions. So you want to know that. You want to know that going in and not find it just out later on.
Yes.
All right. Now, in terms of distribution of your video, that is a whole module in itself.
Yes.
Are you going to distribute just on your website? Are you going to distribute on YouTube? Are you going to restream it? Are you going to use it as a part of another program? And we'll explore that more at length in a completely other session. Are there any other questions there? You have anything else to say here before we wrap up this nearly 2-hour session on making your promo video?
It's so full of information, but knowing this knowledge about web video can really give a business an upper hand, because the language in which consumers are receiving their information right now, the number one method is video. So if you know how to incorporate video for your business, your brand, or your clients, that is a tremendous advantage right now. Previously, as we mentioned, they had phone book ads and those kind of things. Now people are watching videos on their phone. They're watching it on their streaming sites. They're watching it on sites that they're going to. And so that information is helpful because we want to see all of you succeed in business. We want to see all of the brands survive. We know everybody's going through, a very unique time right now. And previously, people could go into physical locations. Now everything is sent and transmitted through streaming sites and right there to the palm of your hand. So this is how you can deliver the information in a way that is palatable and enjoyable for your consumers. So think about the content that's going to go into your web video, because in this next lab, we are actually going to make and see some of your web videos. And I'm very excited about that.
Yes. And again, think about back when we were first learning anything new, whether it was learning how to use a pen and paper, whether it was your first time on a personal computer, whether it's your first time on your iPhone or your Android phone. This is where we are with this grammar of web video, with this grammar of live streaming. That's what we're trying to teach you here. We're teaching you the ABCs of live streaming and of web video. So be patient with yourself, just like how we had to be with learning any of those other things. Take these stages. Go ahead and, if you don't have any other tools, go ahead and get that Google Slide. Go ahead and get Awesome Screenshot and experiment with the recording of your videos. Go ahead and download OpenShot. Or if you're ready to invest some funds, go ahead and get the commercial services. Sign up for Canva, sign up for videos, sign up for Motion Den, download the Adobe Premiere and be willing to invest this time and this money to learn these grammars. And we're going to be here to help you. We're going to continue. We have more weeks of these training programs coming up, but if you're ready to dive in, come join us. There's 2 options. Join us at superliveproducers.com, where you can learn this technology, where right now you can log in and access hours of training and transcripts and ebooks and resources that we already have, and more to come. Or you can visit superlivestreams.com and you can hire us and our agency and our team, and we'll do it for you. We will build these services. We will make these videos. We will make these apps. Now, the fact is, we are a boutique agency. The amount of clients that we can take on is limited by our time and our inventory, which is why we've committed ourselves to training other people to join our team, to be more empowered within their own teams, within their own organizations as well. That's our mission. That's why we're doing these things. That's why we've taken this hour and 45 minutes to share this information across our social media, because we know people need this grammar. And once you learn this grammar, or someone in your house or your community learns this grammar, they are of service to so many people, because we know not everyone's going to learn this or needs to learn this. But if you're committed to learning it, there's tremendous opportunities for you. There's businesses, there's organizations that need you to be a translator, to be an ambassador, to hold their hand because they are already stressing out on so many things over here. So dear, you want to say anything before we wrap up for this afternoon's program?
Thank you. Janine Gray says so much information. Thank you for your time and knowledge. This is needed by so many. Thank you. Yes, it really is. And it can empower these businesses. For businesses that do not yet have web video incorporated, there's no web video on your website, and you have no promo videos running, those are opportunities that are being missed right now. But it doesn't have to be the case. You can incorporate web video into your marketing and promotion, and these are the tools with which you can achieve that goal.
And if you have the time, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter your profession. If you have the time and if you have the interest in learning this grammar of web video, live streaming, video marketing, we want to teach you. So come on over, check us out at Super Live Producers. We will be starting our whole new cohort in January, and we will also be launching the documentary program, training program in January. But that doesn't stop you from coming over to Super Live Producers right now, accessing this information, chopping it up with us, because again, we only have so many hours in the week that we're available. But if you have your questions and you're sending them through the platform and the portal, we're going to hit you up. And if you're investing time to make your videos and to show them to us, we're going to give you feedback, because that's what we do.
Yes.
All right. Any other statements or comments, dear, before we wrap up now?
Checking both chats. The chats are clear. Yes, actually, there's a comment here. Ardell says, awesome. I'm learning so much. Thank you. Yes, I'm so glad to hear this.
Thank you, Ardell.
Yes. And he also says, do you know a good video file converter that is free without a logo? Ada also says ditto. Thank you, Ada. Thank you.
So a good file converter, you can use there's online file conversion tools, Ardell, that you can use. Just type Google online video conversion, or we'll find some specific one for you. However, it is definitely, think of it like this, as you do with your audio files, Ardell. You want to have quality control through the process. So it is worthwhile investing in the encoding software. Like, you can get Adobe Premiere, and they have Adobe encoding software that comes with that, so it's worthwhile, or even the Audacity, just for the audio files. But it is definitely worth investing in good encoders, because we get files that are in old, obscure formats sometimes. It may be like an old TIFF file or some old AIFF audio file from the 90s or whatever. So we have to have tools that allow us to easily encode and convert this. So we, again, think Swiss Army knife, multiple tools, multiple purposes. The more we invest in our tools, the more reliable they're going to be. Now, again, or the open source tools, if you're not going to invest cash, you're going to invest time learning the open source tools, as well. So yeah, we'll definitely go into that some more, but we always use Adobe Encoder.
Yes, right. Quality matters. So yes, of course, Adobe Encoder helps. And then thinking of your audio files, clearly we're working with MP3s or WAV files for your video promos.
Yes. All right. So cool. So Super Live Producers, we are going to reconvene at 1 p.m. and we're going to begin going through the labs to do two things to help you with your promo videos here. And then also we're going to begin planning for setting up your YouTube accounts and practicing live streaming into YouTube and Zoom. And every week, every session, we're going to just be practicing now, you guys. The old senseis used to tell us we have to practice the technique 10,000 times, then start 10,000 times again. So we're going to just keep practicing this live streaming. We're going to keep practicing people self-recording and interviewing until it becomes second nature to you and it's routine. So we're going to reconvene at 1 p.m. at superliveproducers.com/live. Log into the member chat and we'll be able to resume this project right here. All right. I'm Maxie Collier.
I'm Shatara Safira Collier, and you are watching Super Live Producers. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next segment.
Thank you, everyone.